everybody, this is Bob from Buckeye Sports Center. Today I'm excited to talk to you guys about the 2025 Lund 1650 Angler SS. So in the Lund lineup, this is a real popular model for us. Lund's got a lot of different models. We'll try to differentiate them here in this video. We kind of start with Lund. You've got the Fury series. The Fury is going to be a little bit narrower boat, a little bit less features. Then you jump up to the Angler series like this boat that we'll go through here in detail. And then from here, you jump up to the Rebel, which is the next one above this, and then the Adventure, which is the next one above this. So this boat here hits a nice, good price point, but there's a lot of cool, standard Lund features you're going to see that are on this model that kind of carry all the way up the line. So getting all the cool Lund features, but down at this price point is pretty awesome. First thing I'll talk about as we move through the process here, there's little things here throughout the boat that you're going to see that normally on a value price 16-foot boat you're not going to see as a standard feature. Something as simple as a swing away tongue in the bow, nice custom trailer. It's got kind of the rough finish here, so it's a little bit more protection. Nice little chrome Lund logo there, again, makes it looking good. And then as we're panning to the hull, we are going to see the Lund IPS hull construction, so that deeper V in the front where you're entering the waves, hitting the waves, and then as we move toward the transom, it flattens out. That creates the maximum stability slash great ride that you're normally going to see on these type of boats. Other things that we're going to see the cover that comes with this boat kind of clips in the outside, so really nice, clean, custom cover. This boat does have the Sport Track bracket, so you can mount accessories, rod holders, stuff like that on the inside in a track without drilling into the boat. Little things like pop-up cleats, standard feature on this boat. Again, normally you'd see that would be an upgrade on most boats this size. So let's take a look a little bit closer on the 1650 Angler. Work into the transom area. We're going to go a little bit more into the IPS hull. I do like to spend time on it because it is such an important differentiating feature from a Lund boat, especially when you're looking at these smaller boats that are a little bit narrower. I always like to point out, we see how wide the top is, all right, and then we see how wide the bottom is, and it's almost as wide on the bottom as it is on the top. You also see how this kind of has a reverse chine here. And again, that promotes side-to-side stability. We also see in general how flat it is back here relatively, and what that's going to allow the boat to do is get up on plane with less horsepower, quicker, not have a ton of bow rise. So even with a 50 horsepower motor, you're going to see good planing speeds on this boat, even if you do have 2 or 3, maybe even 4 people in this boat. The boat will get up and run on plane. That's because of that hull design. So that's, I think, a really important feature of this boat, and really helps differentiate it from other boats from a stability standpoint and from a performance standpoint. You have a traditional deep V there. The boat typically comes up and kind of wobbles side to side, and it's slow. It has a lot of bow rise. This one, it depends. I mean, if you've got 500-pound guys and people sitting in the back, it's not going to be real quick. But a normal, average person, even a guy my size, sitting in the driver's seat, I'm going to have no problem with a couple people in the boat getting this boat up on plane really nice and easy. So we move inside the 1650 Angler. Again, the first thing I notice, again, this is not the most widest 16-foot boat out there, but it does feel really roomy in here, even with 3 seats in the cockpit. That's one of the reasons for that is Lund's widest point is up at the console area. Most boats, the widest point's at the transom. This one doesn't narrow up like other boats do, so it makes it really feel wide and big in here. From a storage perspective, we do have a nice elevated rear deck that you can stand and fish off of if you so choose. This particular boat, with the other interesting thing about this boat is that we've got portable fuel tanks. Okay, so this particular boat has the 6-gallon standard tank here. All right, you can access it and fill it from the side without pulling it out, so it makes it real easy to do, at the gas pump or whatever. And then we have the same thing on the other side, so another 6-gallon tank. So the second 6-gallon tank's optional. We will sell some of these boats with like maybe a 9 horsepower or even a 20 horsepower engine for lakes that have restrictions on them. In that particular case, you probably definitely only need just one 6-gallon tank. But with a 50 horse, if you just want to make sure you're good for multiple days on the water, you should be good with the total of 12 gallons. But basically, the other interesting thing here is, if you have a lake that you like to fish, it's an electric application. So a lot of those lakes don't like to see fuel in the boat at all. You could pull the tanks out and literally have an electric motor on the back or a trolling motor or something like that and just fish it that way. So that gives you a little bit of flexibility from that perspective. It could be an advantage to this boat for some people. Having that ability to use it for electric lakes. Your main house battery stored underneath here. The other thing I like is that this boat, like all Lund models, is standard with their Pro Ride seat. So again, rather than, you know, kind of having, okay, this is a less expensive boat, let's put the cheap seat in it. It's got the same Pro Ride seat that all the higher end Lunds have, which is a really nice, comfortable seat. There's a good rod locker solution here as well. Again, rather than just having one big open rod locker, and you can't see it too much from the video, but you've got basically a level up here for the handles of the rod, and then you can put additional ones below, so you can kind of have almost like a two-tiered setup, so a little bit better design there versus just an open rod locker. So again, some cool features, more storage on this side. Even though we are in a smaller, simpler boat, there is a decent amount of storage in this boat too. Okay, console area is obviously super important for every boat, making sure you're comfortable up here. This boat's got a good layout for, again, a simple boat. We do have a cell phone wireless holder over here. Easily you can plug it into one, charging port like that. We've got windshield, which windshield's included on this boat. Tons of space up here for whatever size graph you want. So we'll see customers, even at this level, you can put a simple little graph on it, or if you wanted to go more extravagant, crazy. And that's one of the nice things too, the way we equip most of our boats here at Buckeye Sports Center is, sometimes we will put an electronics package on the boat, but it really gives you flexibility, because, other brands, they'll say, okay, we'll put a nice a package on here and it comes with everything, but, it's got the cheap little fish finder you don't really want, and it's got the cheap little trolling motor you don't really want. So, we give it some option for whatever you want to do there. So some people, they say, oh, I'm fine with a little 7-inch screen here, no big deal, or even a 5-inch screen, but I want to put a nice Minn Kota Terova trolling motor on the bow. So this allows you some flexibility in what you do there. And if you wanted to put a 12-inch screen here, you could. So it gives you some flexibility. Nice, convenient grab handle, throttle control. Again, I'm a bigger guy. I've got all kinds of leg room to stretch out my legs as much as I possibly could want. So really, really good setup console. Your switches, your gauges on here, pretty simple. As I move to the bow area, we're going to see live well and additional storage. So trolling motor battery, this boat's set up for 12-volt trolling motor. You can add a 24-volt system if you so choose. Big live well here. All right, you can put a bait bucket on the right-hand side, large live well. Well designed. And then one thing I do like about this boat, again, we talk about storage being a premium on some of these smaller boats. A huge storage compartment up here that actually goes to both sides, both windows, but it's one big continuous storage compartment all the way through. All right, so you can get some bigger, some bigger items in there, obviously life jackets, stuff like that. You can probably stuff your cover in there when you're not using it if you want to. And in a little cubby storage up underneath the trolling motor. Obviously it's all wired and stuff for trolling motors, that type of thing, all wired and ready to go. So in conclusion, 1650 angler, a great kind of, if it's your first new boat, or you're just going out there with maybe 1 or 2 people, not too crazy. It is rated for 5 people. The way this boat's set up, we've got the optional 3rd seat. So, realistically, from a fishing perspective, you can definitely fish 3 out of this boat if you want to. But, great, unbelievable value, great price point on this model. Good performance with the Mercury 50 horsepower, which is the maximum horsepower on this setup. So thanks for watching. For more information to view our inventory, BuckeyeSportsCenter.com. Check out our YouTube page, subscribe to see more videos like this and on other Lund boats. Thanks for watching.